You asked, and wow, did you have questions? From, why don't I feel anything yet? To, can you have too much B12? And yes, the all-time favorite. What's the deal with methyl versus cyano? This is the follow-up you asked for. And in this video, we're diving into what the latest science really says about B12 testing, dosage, safety, and the hidden reasons some people don't feel the benefits right away. Because here's the twist. You can be taking B12 every single day and still be low. And if your doctor told you your B12 level is fine, that might not mean what you think it does. B12 is one of the most misunderstood vitamins on the planet, and yet it's essential for how you age, think, and feel. In this follow-up, we'll unpack the smarter way to test your B12 levels, which form, methyl or cyano, actually works best for you, how meds like Metformin and reflux pills quietly drain your stores, and what high B12 on your blood test could really be telling you. By the end, you'll know exactly how to take B12 the right way, not just for energy today, but for long-term brain health and longevity. Let's jump in. So, your doctor says your B12 levels are normal. You breathe a sigh of relief. But here's the problem. That normal range might not mean optimal. Research shows that people can still experience fatigue, memory issues, even nerve symptoms at levels that technically fall within the normal window. In most labs, anything above 200 or 250 picograms per milliliter counts as fine. But neurologists and longevity researchers argue that symptoms can start showing up below about 400, sometimes even higher. That's because the standard test only measures total B12 in your blood, not how much of it your body is actually using. If you really want to know where you stand, ask for a test that looks at MMA, methylmalonic acid, or homocysteine. These markers rise when your cells aren't getting enough active B12, even if your total level looks okay. And here's the kicker. Older adults, people on Metformin, or anyone with gut issues can have impaired absorption, meaning the vitamin isn't actually making it into your cells. So, next time you get a blood test, don't just ask, is it normal? Ask, is it optimal? Because that difference could mean sharper memory, better energy, and potentially a longer, healthier life. So, you find out your B12 is low? Now what? Some doctors prescribe injections, others say oral tablets are enough. So who's right? The truth is, both can work incredibly well. The science says that your body actually absorbs only a small fraction of B12 from what you swallow. About 1% if you're deficient. But here's the twist. When you take a high enough oral dose, even that tiny percentage is often enough to restore your levels. Clinical studies comparing high-dose oral B12, think 1,000 to 2,000 micrograms daily, with intramuscular injections found that in most cases, they raised B12 levels just as effectively. That's because B12 doesn't rely entirely on normal gut absorption. A small amount sneaks directly into your bloodstream through something called passive diffusion. And that's what makes oral B12 so powerful. Injections are still a great choice for people with severe deficiency, nerve symptoms, or absorption issues from things like Crohn's or stomach surgery. But for many people, daily oral B12 can do the job beautifully. The real key isn't the delivery method, it's consistency. Whether you swallow it or inject it, your body needs steady levels to keep your brain, nerves, and cells functioning at their best. Up next, let's settle one of the biggest B12 debates once and for all. Methylcobalamin versus Cyanocobalamin, which is actually better? Alright, let's talk about one of the most common and confusing supplement debates online. Methylcobalamin versus Cyanocobalamin. Which one actually works better? If you've spent more than 5 minutes reading the label on a B12 bottle, you've probably seen both. One sounds natural and bioactive. The other has the scary word cyano in it, and that's where people panic. So here's the science. Cyanocobalamin is the synthetic form. It's stable, inexpensive, and has been used safely for decades. When you take it, your body converts it into the active forms it actually needs. Methylcobalamin and adenosylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin, on the other hand, is the ready-to-use form that's naturally present in your body. Some research suggests it might hang around longer in tissues and could have extra benefits for nerve repair. But here's the kicker. In head-to-head studies, both forms raise blood levels effectively, and for most people, there's no meaningful difference in outcomes. So rather than stressing about the name, the best form is usually the one you'll actually take consistently. If you prefer a cleaner label or have trouble processing synthetic forms, Methylcobalamin is a solid pick. But Cyanocobalamin is perfectly safe for the vast majority of people, and often better value. Now that you know which form to pick, let's look at what might be quietly draining your B12, even if you're doing everything right. So you're eating well, maybe even supplementing, but your B12 levels are still low. What gives? It turns out, some of the most common medications and lifestyle habits can quietly drain your B12 stores, and you might not even know it's happening. Let's start with Metformin, one of the most widely prescribed drugs for type 2 diabetes. Studies show it can reduce B12 absorption by interfering with how your intestines take it up. If you've been on Metformin for a few years, it's worth asking your doctor for a simple blood test, and, if needed, adding a B12 supplement. Next up, acid reflux meds. Things like omeprazole or ranitidine. These lower stomach acid, which is great for heartburn, but not so great for releasing B12 from food. The longer you take them, the more your risk of deficiency goes up. And it's not just meds. Chronic stress and regular alcohol use can deplete key nutrients, including B12. Over time, that means less energy and slower recovery. The fix? Keep up your B12 intake, ideally from a reliable supplement, and get tested yearly if you're on any of these medications, because you can't feel your B12 levels dropping until it's too late. So, what if your test comes back showing your B12 is high, like way above normal? You might be thinking, great, that means I'm super healthy, right? Well, not always. Here's the truth. B12 is water-soluble, so if you're taking supplements, your body will flush out the excess through urine. That part's safe. There's no established upper limit for toxicity from normal supplements. But, and this is important, consistently high B12 levels without supplementation can sometimes be a clue that something else is going on. Studies have shown that unusually high B12 in people who aren't supplementing can be linked to liver or kidney problems, certain blood disorders, or even inflammation. It's not the vitamin itself that's the problem, it's that the body might be leaking B12 from damaged cells, or unable to clear it properly. So if your B12 levels are sky high and you're not taking supplements, that's your cue to talk to your doctor. They might check your liver function or run a few follow-up tests just to be safe. For everyone else taking B12 regularly, don't worry. High numbers on your lab report are just your body saying, I'm topped up. When people talk about living longer, they usually think about diet, exercise, and maybe a few miracle supplements. But the real secret isn't just living longer, it's living better. And that's where B12 quietly comes in. B12 plays a major role in keeping your brain young. It helps form myelin, that protective sheath around your nerves, and supports the neurotransmitters that control memory, focus, and mood. Low B12, especially as we age, is linked to faster cognitive decline and even higher dementia risk. It's also a heart protector. B12 helps regulate a compound called homocysteine, and when that builds up, it damages blood vessels and increases the risk of stroke and heart disease. Keeping your B12 in the healthy range can help keep those levels in check. It's one of the simplest longevity habits you can build. And maybe most fascinating of all, B12 supports DNA repair, the process that literally keeps your cells from aging too quickly. When your DNA can repair itself efficiently, you're not just adding years to your life, you're improving the quality of those years. Think of B12 as a maintenance nutrient for longevity. You might not feel the effects day to day, but it's working quietly behind the scenes, protecting your heart, brain, and cells for the long run. So you've been taking B12 for a few weeks, maybe even months, and you're thinking, why don't I feel any different? You're not alone. There are a few key reasons why results can take time, and understanding them can help you stick with it long enough to see the difference. First, if your B12 was only a little low, you might not notice dramatic changes. B12 isn't a stimulant. It's a slow fixer. It's repairing nerves, balancing red blood cells, and supporting brain chemistry, not giving you an instant jolt. Second, B12 doesn't work in isolation. If your iron, folate, or vitamin D levels are low, your energy will still lag. These nutrients work together, like instruments in an orchestra. When one's out of tune, the music falls flat. And finally, it could be how you're taking it. If you have gut issues or you're on medications like Metformin or PPIs, you may absorb less B12 from tablets. In those cases, sublingual drops, sprays, or even periodic injections might work better. Don't give up too soon. For some people, it takes 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer, to feel the full effects. Think of it like charging a battery. It takes time, but once it's full, you feel the difference. Alright, we've covered a lot, from testing smarter to picking the right form and watching for hidden causes of deficiency. So here's your simple 5-step B12 longevity checklist. The takeaways you can act on today. First, test, don't guess. Ask for a B12 blood test, and if you're on the low side, request a follow-up check for MMA and homocysteine. They tell the real story about how your body's using B12. Second, choose your form. Cyanocobalamin is affordable and effective for most people. Methylcobalamin is great if you want the bioactive form, but consistency is what matters most. Third, watch your meds. If you're on Metformin or acid reflux medication, check your levels once a year. Those can quietly lower absorption over time. Next, don't panic about high levels. If you supplement, a high reading is normal. If you don't, talk to your doctor to rule out anything else. Finally, play the long game. B12 isn't an instant boost. It's about protecting your brain, heart, and DNA for the years ahead. It's one of the simplest, most affordable ways to invest in your longevity. If this video helped you make sense of your B12 journey, give it a like. It really helps the channel. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, I'll link it right here. It's the perfect foundation for everything we've covered today. Until next time, stay curious, stay healthy, and take care of that incredible body of yours.